Hello to all companions and friends worldwide within the Scottish Constitution of Royal Arch Freemasonry. I've decided to do a series of talks on the ancient origins, history and development of the Royal Arch degree. Today's talk will be on the ancient origins of Royal Arch Freemasonry and their basis within the Old Testament. But first of all, before I get into the topic, let me say that I hope you notice that I'm wearing the bicentenary tie of Royal Arch chapter number 36 in Dunfermline, which was founded in 1815. So convey my fraternal and warm greetings to all who are listening to this short talk. I hope that this new initiative, which will be under the auspices of the publications known as Through the Arch, will help people to understand what Royal Arch Freemasonry is about, and for me as head of that order as the first grand principle to be able to celebrate the great richness that Royal Arch Freemasonry brings through our traditions, through our history, and also to be able to share that with others. At our time in history, we're here in April 2020 and we're gripped by a pandemic that's very unusual for us and a very different position to find ourselves in. It may be said that we're at a crossroads within our own history today. What do we do? What do we do about it? How do we move forward? Well, for me, unless we actually have a real knowledge of our history and where we come from, we can never move forward and to actually understand what we're doing in our present day. The flowering and the enlightenment of Masonic knowledge requires us to move into the past and to sojourn into the history of those companions that we now follow, those giants upon whom shoulders we now build. We're all aware of the moral and ethical lessons of our order. We participate in them and we have them reinforced every time that we attend a ceremony of degrees. We can remember the passing through the veils and the different degrees of Royal Arch Freemasonry and how we grew in an understanding of increased light in Freemasonry. We've all trodden the understanding of Royal Arch Freemasonry and built upon the wonders that we were taught within the craft degrees. Above all, we're taught about the origins of these degrees and about our duty to God and our duty to others. When we enter the Royal Arch degrees, we strengthen our understanding of our relationship with God, and we contemplate our spiritual nature, as well as continuing to flourish in the service of others and the development of companionship. In the Royal Arch degrees, we use ritual and allegory based on the Old Testament to tell the story of the exiled Jews and their return to Jerusalem from their captivity in Babylon. Many songs have been written about this. The psalmists themselves, even modern pop music, has expressed the wonders of this return from exile from Babylon to Jerusalem by the Jews, and we found our degrees on that story. These events are firmly based in history, although do not follow that rigorously, but based in the history of the 6th century BC, and it's still part of the celebration of the Jewish faith today. After the fall of Cyrus the Great king in 539 BC, the Jews were permitted to leave Babylon and to return to Judah. The Royal Arch degrees are based on these events, and in this return and in this settlement in Jerusalem. If you like, you can read much more about it in the Old Testament, in the book of Ezra, where it tells and elaborates on the story of that return and celebration from captivity in Babylon to Jerusalem. Now, on return to Jerusalem, they built the second temple in Jerusalem, beginning in 537 BC. The allegory of the Royal Arch goes on to teach us that when they were clearing the ground and preparing to build the second temple, and the same spot where the first temple of King Solomon had been destroyed, there they found something. This first temple, which had been destroyed by King Nebuchadnezzar II after the siege of Jerusalem in 587 BC, as they cleared the foundations for a new temple, certain discoveries were made. And so, in the clearing away of the old, certain discoveries were made. These discoveries became the origins of the allegories of Royal Arch Freemasonry. And the Royal Arch can very much claim to be the Masonic order of discoveries. These discoveries add to the knowledge of the craft degrees. They extend the knowledge of Masonic light and understanding. These discoveries are the discoveries that make good men better through continued Masonic light and knowledge. This order, which we call the Royal Arch Freemasons, could be renamed the Order of Discoveries. The degrees of Mark Master Mason, Excellent Master and Royal Arch Mason open up a completion of the third degree of the craft masonry. And for me, it is this understanding, the progress from craft masonry to the Royal Arch Masonry, where the genuine secrets of the Masonic journey are revealed. This then is a brief introduction to the understanding of the origins of our Order of Discovery. It is now up to you to go and find out for yourselves, not only through the practice of the Royal Arch degrees, but through your study, and if you're not already a Royal Arch Mason, through joining the wonderful order of companionship and discovery. And you will seek to make yourselves better Freemasons, based on the increase of Masonic light. If you engage in this, the most friendly of orders, there will be new secrets that will be revealed to you that will allow you to offer yourself as a developing Freemason in this century. This, our Order of Discovery, offers not secrets because they are not the essence of what we're about, but it offers the wealth of companionship and Masonic discovery built on our relationship with God as we are taught in the craft degrees and our obligations to one another. Go away, seek out and discover from yourself the wonders of companionship and discovery. And I hope that with me you enjoy the exploration of the light of Royal Arch Freemasonry, which reaches all parts of the world, whether we be in Western Australia, Malaysia, Lebanon, Kenya, or here in my hometown of Dundee. The companionship and discovery of our order is absolutely a wonderful thing to celebrate. I hope you've enjoyed the first of these talks, which are really by way of introduction, and I hope in my next talk to explore with you how the light of Royal Arch Freemasonry reached Scotland. Thank you for listening.